Hey, baby, welcome back to Healing is a Bitch. I hope you're having a wonderful day, week, month. I hope your 2026 is starting off deliciously. And if not, then let me give you some juju, some good manifestation your way. All right. Well, baby, today is a very, 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 very cute and special episode because I'm finally going to dig in my heels. Is that the term? Yeah. And let you know about my therapy experience. I started doing it about 12 years ago when I was around 25 years old. Don't worry, girl. It's not going to be a whole Debbie Downer, like all the sad stories, all the struggles, because there's a lot to uncover if I were to do it. But I'm just here to give you the simple, the basics of therapy, the what, the who, the when, and the why. Like, why did I start doing it? What caused me to start doing it? What was the X factor? What's the word? Or the catalyst? That's what I was thinking of. What was the catalyst that finally made me go, bitch, I need to start going. Like, I'm not okay with how I'm doing, how I'm feeling, the way I'm acting. Some people may call it their rock bottom. Okay, and everybody's version of a rock bottom is different. How I started doing it, what I did to research for it, how I prepared for it, baby. And I'm wearing this shirt too that my mom got me for Christmas. Okay, which will go hand in hand with this topic. So I'm ready to dive in, baby. Buckle up, get you your drink, get you a snack, because we're gonna go dive into this therapy gig. Ow. All right, baby, let's just dive right into it. All right, let's start with what happened that caused me to go to therapy. What had happened was I was a mess, an emotional mess, and a lot of my friends can attest to this. I, as I mentioned, I believe in the last episode, I had the emotional range of like a big potato mixed with a teenage girl. And again, a dry ass, no seasoning, smashed baked potato, not a delicious, full cover potato, a fully loaded baked potato. I was just surviving, taking it day by day. And doing drugs and drinking was my way to escape, to quiet the noise, to escape. That's the best way I can put it. The word escape just keeps coming to my head over and over. Escape and survive. Like, that was basically what I was doing, working paycheck to paycheck. I wasn't thinking about, saving money to get a car or get a house. Like, that was not even anywhere near my future. Like, I couldn't come up with an outline or a plan about that stuff. I was just, again, survival mode. And unfortunately, I picked up the bad habit of drugs and drinking. Not every day, although I definitely abused it a lot. I relied on it as a crutch. Really, thankfully, I don't have an addictive personality, or nor does it run in my family. Addiction, that is. I'm very blessed because I could see it. I could see how it could have completely taken over my life. And what got me to my version of rock bottom that led me to start doing therapy was I just had yet another one of my drunk, um, emotional outbursts, which I would have often. I mean, my friends would joke about, like, "Girl, watch out! She's on one today. She's crying." Like, I would be either crying, really upset about something, or get angry easy. Like, I was a keg powder. I was a fucking Brazilian keg powder, ready to explode at anyone or anything that disagreed with me, that pushed the wrong button. Tons, not just button. Right, just an emotional mess. So this particular day, I remember walking down Wilton Drive, and my friend Travis was in front of me, and we were both not sober. And I couldn't even tell you what the fucking fight was about. That is how out of touch and ridiculous I was acting. That I literally got into this vocal fight with him. I dead ass don't remember. Again, it was also like 13 years ago. 12, 13 years ago. But I was so upset and crying a lot, like hyperventilating. And my friend Paul took me to the back of the bar, uh, and like calmed me down, even walked me home. I remember him. That was so nice. Thank you, Paul. That was very sweet and very nice. And I just remembered that day sitting in the kitchen. I was living with, I had a roommate, and I was just sitting in the kitchen like, I can't do this anymore. I don't know what it was about that day. I don't know if it was something in the water. I don't know if it was a spirit guide or something in the universe. I cannot tell you what it is, but I just had a come to Jesus that moment with myself, me, myself, and I. And I was just like, we can't do this anymore. I can't be, what I believe to be a happy go lucky, clown joking around person, but then I'm treating my friends this way. Like that's those two things don't coincide. I can't be this good person that I feel like I am and that my friends like to be around at times. But then these other times that I'm, unpredictable and overly emotional and highly irritable, I'm like, because I was happy, but then there was many reasons why I wasn't happy. I just couldn't figure out why. But in my head, I would just blame, oh, I have a fucked up relationship with my family. That's what it is. And I just blamed it subconsciously and sometimes consciously on them. It's the way they raised me. It's the way they raised me. And that wasn't good enough for me. I just had to break away from that mentality that I just had, that I just accepted that, oh, I'm just this way because that's just the way I was raised. I was like, that's not good enough. So combining all of those things, I got the courage to call my best friend, who I knew had been doing therapy for many years. So I figure like that was a safe space, a comfortable space for me to go, hey, mama, this is how I'm feeling. I feel like I'm ready to take this next step. And let me know like what it did for you. So she kind of made me feel. I called her. She made me feel comfortable. She referred me to her therapist. Baby, next morning, you best believe it. I made the appointment. I told her, Mama, I need the first appointment available. I don't care if it's during the fucking day. I'll call my ass out of work. I have PTO. I'll sure as fuck will use it. I have insurance. So I'm like, so you see what I mean? So I started putting the pieces together. I'm like, I have the time to do it. I have a means of transportation to get to it. I'm blessed that I have a job that gives me insurance so I can use it. So point is, I didn't have an excuse to not go. The only excuse would be if my ass didn't want to go. Okay. So I started with accepting I have a problem, finding a way to fix that, or like the starting steps to fix that problem. I was like, well, I can't, as smart as I am, academic and streetwise, I'm like, this is not good enough. So that's how I started, or what the reason why I started. Cut to the first session. Okay. I thought it was going to be like what you see in movies and shows where you lay down on a couch and, you're looking up like this and they have a notebook with the glasses down, like, reading you to filth in their mind. It wasn't. My therapist, she was lovely. She was very warm and kind and friendly. I could just tell right off the bat. We sit in a room and she's sitting on a chair opposite of me in a couch. And it's, what you would think a therapist's office is. There's a tissue box next to the couch or tissue boxes around. She also does family and all kinds of different therapy, not just adult. So there was some toys and things for children, for younger kids. So we just dive right into it. And that's, from my experience, happen. Well, not just my experience, from what I hear from other people too. They have to know about your life, the specific things, how you were raised, sibling dynamic, family dynamics. That's, like basically like a questionnaire, bitch. Not even, I swear to you, not even 10 minutes in, already bawling. I mean, like, I'm sorry. I'm getting I'm getting a little emotional now because I'm going back in time and I'm starting to feel what I felt back then. That goes to show you like how much I needed it, or sorry, excuse me. More importantly, it showed me how badly I needed this, how badly I needed this healthy release, because I was bawling in front of a complete fucking stranger who I've never met, who I didn't know basically anything about, and vice versa. So that was my cue. I was like, ooh, I need this. This is a medical, unbiased professional. It's not one of my friends who's going to tell me that I'm pretty and that, it's their fault and, which is cute. Okay. And sometimes you do need that. that boost from your friends, but not when you're so far down in the bottom of the barrel. A kiki and a brunch and some positive, uplifting words from your friends are not what you need when you're that deep in that hole. Trust. And that's without even me telling you and explaining to you the tsunami of trauma and emotional mess that I dealt with in my life. I was very blessed, and I still feel very blessed, by the way, that my first therapist made me feel very comfortable in order to open up. That I told her, I'm like, I want to do this every week. Can we please? She's like, absolutely. So I was doing it once a week for a while, and then I moved it to every other week, and then eventually once a month. So that is what worked for me. Definitely needed it once a week because I had a lot to get out of my chest. And the more you do it, the more you feel comfortable about opening up and understanding yourself from the outside in, aka self-awareness. So that's probably the first one of the first tools that I've learned, that I've honed, that I take with me everywhere, is to just to be more aware about how you're saying things. Why are you saying them? Are you saying this because this person is affecting you emotionally? Are they upsetting you? Like, where is this coming from, basically? Because I was a very, very, very reactionary person. But in order for you to understand why you react so much, why you are a keg powder, you need to understand why you're upset, why are you angry, why you're hurt to begin with. So yeah, bitch, we have to go all the way back to childhood. hmm Especially when most of your issues, whether it's trust issues, abandonment issues, started that far back. But when you're going through life, you don't really think of, oh, my mom left me when I was 5. That's why I don't trust men. You know what I mean? Like you don't put the two and two together. Yes, turns out that shit that happens to you, horrible, tragic, traumatic. By the way, traumatic doesn't have to be like a sexual assault experience or a major car accident or losing a parent. Like trauma can be many, many, many different ways and forms. It's something that lingers with you, that shakes your core, that stays with you. That may not be the actual definition, but you get the point. And there's a lot of things that are quote unquote traumatic that happen to us that we just don't consider it traumatic because we either deal with it in our own way, we shove it down, we sweep it under the rug, whatever it is. And mama wasn't about to do that anymore. I'm like, because I picked up those habits, sorry family, from them. My family was notorious for sweeping shit under the rug and then bringing it out when it's convenient for them to throw it in somebody's face, to weaponize things, and then put it right back on the carpet. That's right, baby. You do become your environment, and to some extent. And again, this is not a blame game. I've said this in a previous episode, and I'll say it again. I'm not in a way, shape, or form blaming my family, specifically my parents. Although for many, many, many years I did. You best believe it. Because they were the adults in the equation, right? They were the ones who were supposed to know better. But as I'm growing up and maturing and finding out, a lot of times people do the best they can with what they got. And again, getting older and paying bills and struggling and kind of gives you a perspective of your parents in a way, of like of being an adult and going, my God, there are days I can barely get out of bed. I can't imagine having to being charged and protect and shield and support another human being life. Like I can't. Did I just say human being life? I sure did. But you get what I mean. Like even to the point when I remember when I turned 30, I told my dad, I was like, "You had 3 fucking kids. Wait, no, wait. When was my sister? He had children at that point. I'm like, I can't even imagine having 3 kids right now. On top of dealing with work and school and my mental health, I'm like, that's a lot, baby. It's a lot for one person to take, especially if your family wasn't one to sit around and talk about feelings and how to help each other in a supportive, emotional way. My family was not like that, baby. Love them to death. Uh, and I'm going back even to like Brazil, honey, before I came here when I was 11. No, baby. It was more about throwing things, yelling, fighting, yeah, dysfunction, chaos. That was the bedrock. Yes, there was a lot of love. Yes, there were laughs. Yes, there were good times. Absolutely. Unfortunately, a lot of it gets overshadowed by the yelling, the throwing, the traumatic things that happen. But therapy is a wonderful way to, how did my therapist put it? It's like shining a light on specific parts of your life and really looking at it from different angles and going, okay, how do we feel? How do we do? How do we contribute to this? You know, because a lot of times, baby, you knowingly or unknowingly contribute to the mess. Okay. Now, as teenagers and kids, we kind of get a pass because, we're still developing, we're still growing, we're still maturing. But there comes a certain point, aka adulthood, that we gotta grab our cojones, honey, metaphorically speaking, uh, and go, this is not good enough. And I feel like that's what I did when I broke the cycle of just accepting things for what they are. This is just how my family is, and going, I want to do something drastic to change how I've been acting, what I've been doing. And baby, I don't regret it at all. I don't regret it. I would say within a year of me doing therapy, I straight up told my therapist, I'm like, listen, I am a grown adult. I just started going back to college. I'm like, I'm doing my academic thing. My job is going great. Like, I'm a smart adult. I don't need to blame my parents. Like, well, actually, that's not how I put it in a way like it's not fair. Oh, like, oh yes, I told her like I'm tired of blaming my parents for things. I'm like, I'm an adult. You know, I behave the way I do because of me. And she's like, well, not quite 100% true. She really had a good way of like helping you reframe your brain to see things differently, and not to be blaming parents, but to understand their role in your role and what they're going through and what you're going through and how that all coincides together. That's why you need a medical unbiased professional to help you really, 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 really get to the core of why you feel the way you do, why you react the way you do, why is it that certain things that people say trigger you faster than other things. For example, if you grow up as I did, I was the chunky one, I was the fat one, my brother was the skinny one, he was the pretty one, I was the smart one. Like, families have a way of fucking comparing and contrasting siblings. I'm just gonna chuck it to cultural bullshit. Even though they may say with love and in a joking manner, that shit sticks with you. So particularly me, yes, I had self-esteem issues related to my weight because I was called fat and chunky my most of my life growing up, until hormones and teenagehood, and I fucking shrunk and fucking shut up. So no, I wasn't physically fat, but the mentality of like being told for so long by your older peers, by your mentors, by your parents, by the people who raised you, that shit fucking lingers. That shit stays with you. Because I remember being like 19, 20 years old, and there's this. I'm gonna pull this picture up if I can find it. I'm pretty sure I can find it. Bitch, I must have been like 160 pounds in that picture. Swear on my sister's life, I still had the fat mentality. I can't explain it. Like I can't even explain it. Like I always say like, my fat ass, my fat this, and my friends will go, "What's wrong with you? But you're skinny." Ah, girl, you're just saying that. I wasn't joking when I said I thought I was fat. It's not a joke. It's not a hyperbole. It's not exaggeration. It's an example of how something can linger with you through adulthood if you don't check it, if you don't recognize what it is, if you don't, get to the core of it. So therapy helped me become more self-aware so that I can see myself for who I am, for what I do, and not spiral as much into old habits. Yeah, girl, it's a lot. I'm trying to like stay in one lane, but there's so many wonderful things about therapy that I just get so excited about it. So self awareness, huge. Oh, grace and compassion. That's definitely a big, 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 big thing that I've gotten out of therapy. Again, not that my therapist was like, you need to be a more gracious and like they never instructed me to be this way. They've never even suggested. They just explained it to me in a way like, well, when people do and say these things to you, how do you feel? Meaning like when somebody does something negative to me, right? Don't feel good. Exactly. So why would you would you feel okay doing that to somebody else? You don't know what they're going through. Look at how much shit you're going through, right? Who knows what kind of childhood your friends had? They may have kept a lot of things from you that are traumatic and horrible that shaped who they are. So, me understanding how my traumas and my circumstance shaped the mess at the time that I was really gave me a deeper perspective to go, holy shit, we're all just grown babies trying to do the best we can. Some of us are fortunate enough to have people around us when we're growing up that are more supportive, emotionally in tune, that can help us navigate our feelings better and understand our reactions better. Some of us are not that fortunate, but it doesn't mean that our parents and the people who raised us didn't teach us other valuable things, like how to be respectful, holding a door, saying thank you. Yeah, so grace, compassion, because you don't know what the fuck people are going through. Oh, and by the way, that doesn't mean that you can't stand your ground. Okay. You can still be a good person. You can still be kind, but also tell people to fuck off. That's There's a way to do it. There's a time and a place to do it. And that's called a boundary, by the way. Boundaries. Oh my God. That's another big fucking thing. Woo. Boundaries, baby. Woo. So far we talked about, wait, let me make sure I keep track here. Self awareness, huge. Compassion and grace towards your others, and definitely towards yourself, because you are human, you're not a robot. So you got to forgive yourself about the bad things you do and how to rectify them properly. I could do a whole fucking TED talk on boundaries, mama. Boundaries. Let me just start off by saying, honey, everybody's boundaries are different, and I thankfully through therapy have learned to dictate my boundaries in a more stern and a more direct way towards people, meaning you don't have to be an asshole to put up your boundaries with people. You can just say, hey, when you say this, I don't appreciate it, I don't like it when you do this. Like, there's a way to approach people. And to give you an example, legit real life example, one of my friends would actually two of my friends I should say uh would constantly bring up this incident that I had with one of them where this is before therapy, Eric, context matters, where we got in a verbal fight and we were, getting heated towards each other. And I was drinking a beer. And in typical Brazilian dramatic fashion, honey, I didn't have a table to like throw glasses in front of me, like break shit or flip a table. So I threw the beer bottle past him. Okay. I purposely made sure I flung it on the ground past him. Like, if he's here, I did like this. Like, I purposely did that, right? But because said person is very, very much in her feelings and borderline narcissist, they took that and played the biggest victim. She could have won a fucking EGOT for that performance because it was about, oh, I attacked her, you threw it at me. No, baby, English is your first language. That's not what I did. I didn't throw it at you. I threw it by you, away from you. That would be a more accurate depiction of what happened, right? So for years, this motherfucker kept bringing it up. Oh, don't piss him off. He's gonna throw a beer bottle at you. Oh, when somebody would break something. Oh, did Eric throw another beer bottle? Like, always, anytime something got heated or I was talking or having a discussion with somebody, the fucking beer bottle incident would be brought up. I mean, for years after the fact, even years. By the way, that happened one time. By the way, one fucking time. Um, Again, before therapy, a keg powder of a mess. So, cut to Jesus, maybe 4 or 5 years after the fact, this motherfucker is still bringing that up. And it started to really bother me. Like, privately, I would, even if we're in public and he bring it up, I would have to like go to the bathroom and like compose myself because I would feel myself getting so angry and I would start crying, like, and I couldn't understand why. I'm like, why the fuck is this particular thing making me so angry? Like, to the point that I wanted, honestly, to the point that I wanted to do it again. But, mhm. And then it fucking hit me. It was like, this motherfucker is constantly bringing up this horrible dark thing, well, not dark, but this not so nice thing that I did during a time that I was feeling like shit. I was lost, confused, emotionally messy before therapy. And then I know in my heart, body, and soul that I grown and matured over the years, but this motherfucker didn't see it. So it also planted the seed of doubt in me of like, have I really grown? Like, but then I'll go back like, no, you are not doing the things you were doing before. You are a lot calmer. You're not nearly as emotional as you used to be. You're not as aggressive as you used to be. Like, that was a fact. Those were facts, right? Those weren't just feelings and wishes. Like, I really was not doing that anymore, and it really hurt me and upset me that one of my supposed, or two of my supposed good friends, couldn't see that. They were just so fucking stuck in that one goddamn moment fucking years ago, until I talked about it in therapy and realized that, oh my God, he keeps reminding me of of this version of me that I hated, that I disliked, that I feel bad for, that I feel pity for. So how do I, well, how did I want to address it? I wanted to fucking, like I said, I get, because I would get so angry, I felt like doing the thing again just to prove a point. But instead, you know what I did? One of the days, that I felt like I was in a good spirit, in a good mood, I pulled him off to the side. I said, "Hey, can I talk to you?" And I said, "Listen, I know you may like to joke and bring this up from time to time about being thrown up your bottle, da da da. Like, but I need you to know and understand that I, and I hope you see, and I even made it clear, and I hope you see that I have not done it. It's because, by all means, show me the proof and let me know the time and place that I've done it again. You can't, because it hasn't happened. But more specifically, more importantly, that keeps bringing up and reminding me of this person that I was, and I want to move on from that. I've grown, I've matured. I'm like, and I've listed a few things that I've done. I'm like, have you not noticed these things? Because now I'm starting to doubt myself if I've even have any growth, right? So like, I would appreciate if you just, I don't know, stop doing that, because unless you still feel some sort of way because I've apologized, I don't know what else to do, because I'm not acting this way. You know what I mean? So, but and I thought said person, the more narcissistic one, uh, was going to be very defensive, continue to play the victim, and be like, "Oh, girl, grow up, move on." No, believe it or not, he was incredibly receptive. He was apologetic. He goes, "Holy shit, I didn't realize. I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't know it was affecting you this way." I'm like, "Thank you." I'm like, "I know we joke around about, especially gay people, honey. We love joking around about all kinds of shit." Um, but sometimes I'm like, you know what? Enough is enough. Because, and I even conversely said something like, you wouldn't want me to bring up something that you feel ashamed or not proud of, right? Like, who wants our one of our good friends to do that, right? So it's just respect. So that was a boundary. Long story longer. That was me placing a boundary, going, can we not talk about, like, what's the point? I'm like, are you getting off on it? What's the point? Can we please not do that, because it makes me feel like shit. You're reminding me of this. Like, boom, nice, calm, cool, and collected resolution. Boom, and he has not brought it up since. Boundaries, wonderful, highly recommend them. And that's just one of many examples I can give you about how you just take your time, you evaluate the situation from multiple perspectives, and just calmly, there's a way. Trust me when I tell you, there's a time and a place and a way to do it. There is, you know guns a blazing like the wild wild west, coming in hot, cursing, yelling, trying to place a boundary, probably not the best way. I would not recommend it. Mm-hmm. Seriously, because even my because when we did a role play, quote unquote, in therapy, meaning like my therapist was like, okay, pretend I'm so and so, and tell me how you want to approach this situation. That kind of role play. I was like, well, in my mind, I want to go, you motherfucker, da, da, da," like, because you're so angry, you're so caught up in your own feelings that you want to lash out. But that's not the root of the problem. It's why, right? Anyways, yeah, yeah. So I've been exercising that, honing that, and implementing that in so many areas of my life, especially with my family, with work. So the more I've been doing it, the more comfortable I've been with it. And it can be anything. It can be as silly as like, please don't address me this way, or like, can you, when you do this, this is how I feel. If you want to go into more detail, I guess you're more than welcome to. I just try to give like the meat and potatoes as to why I'm feeling a certain way. People are entitled to their feelings, but their actions, not so much. hmm hmm Because all feelings are valid. I've heard this in a podcast. I think it was in a Mel Robbins podcast that a neuroscientist that was there, a therapist, and he said this quote, and I take it with me everywhere I go, which is all feelings are valid, all behaviors are not. I'm gonna let you marinate on that for a minute. hmm That basically explains me before therapy. I was just behaving the way I was feeling, and mostly throwing tantrums. And who throws tantrums because they're emotionally immature? Children, toddlers, or grown adults who are not maturely or emotionally, you know, in tune. So, mm-mm. Yes, baby. I'm gonna leave you with that. Yeah, I'm gonna leave you with that. For you to think about, soak in. Okay, because Mama needs a little break. My mouth is getting a little dry. Unlike your, oh, let me not say it. Ooh. Okay, enough clowniness, honey. I'll be right back after these lovely words. I like it first thing in the morning. Before I even check my phone, I just go for it. I like it multiple times a day, even when I'm gaming. No, no, no. Ah, son of a. Ah. Oh, yeah. I do it here too, all the time. And yes, I've done it in the shower. I mean, who hasn't? Oh, yes. Even during work hours. If I don't get enough, I get irritable, dry. I start second guessing myself. I want it all the time, everywhere. You guys, I'm talking about water. It's hydrating, 0 calories, refreshing, no regrets. Water. Mm. Because you're thirsty. Oh, let me take her with me. Hey, baby, welcome back to Healing is a Bitch. Ooh, honey, that first part was a lot. Okay, I hope you're hydrated after after all that. For this last part, honey, I'm just gonna put a nice little button on this whole therapy gig and talk about why I wanted to talk about this subject in this forum specifically. Because not only did it help my life in tremendous ways, tremendous. Seriously, even when I visit Florida now, I've gotten told by different people of different ages, backgrounds, different friend groups, you look different, you look happier, you seem happier, you're glowing. Like I've heard those things from people. So, actually, even excuse me, even when I lived in Florida, excuse me, you wouldn't see somebody for like months or years. And especially when I traveled a lot for softball all over the country, over the years of doing therapy, I would see somebody, they would go, "Girl, I'm so proud of you. You look different. You look happier." So it started to show. It started to feel like I've made changes and strides, but also hearing people that know you, that have seen you in so many phases of your life. Because I played softball for Jesus for like 14 years, and seeing that or getting that affirmation, that validation from acquaintances and friends, it's fucking wonderful. It's a testament to the growth that you're making. So, but for this last part, honey, I want to I want to share something that's one of my friends wrote to me last year on my birthday. And I actually started making a list of this, of people who in some way or form have let me know that they started doing therapy because of me, because I influenced them, because I made them feel comfortable with it. Oh yeah, baby, I push it on everybody. I will say this to the day I die. Everybody needs therapy. I don't give a fuck if you're raised in a millionaire, billionaire, country club world, or if you're fucking dirt poor eating ramen noodles every day, honey, or lived under a bridge, or if you're just middle class, whatever. If you were born in another country, or if you're here, doesn't matter. If you're a human being of any political background, any religion, any nationality, whatever, if you're a human being, hi human being, yeah, you need to fucking go to therapy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You should, even if it's for a little bit, baby, because there's a lot of things you're gonna find out about yourself, uh, that are gonna get you to be. What's the slogan? Oh yeah, my slogan for therapy, by the way, is progress, not perfection. Meaning, you can always be a better listener, a better friend, a better lover, a better coworker, a better son, a better daughter, a better parent, a better teammate. What's wrong with being a better version of yourself, a better listener, more kind, more compassionate, and also all the benefits you get? Hmm. So, in all the years that I've been pushing therapy and talking about the benefits of it all, and how it basically saved my life, because I was in a very much in a downward uh, trajectory. I had about 7 people that, at one point or another, like I said earlier, thanked me for helping them get started with therapy. And now I'm going to read you this message that this person sent to me. I'll put it up on the screen too, so you guys can see it. Okay, again, this was last year on my birthday. He said happy birthday, and then he followed it up with, also, just wanted to let you know that I remember a specific conversation that you and I had a few years about therapy. At the time, I was completely against it. Today, I'm not. I am working with both a psychiatrist and a therapist, and it has helped me tremendously. You helped kickstart my open mindedness for it. So, once again, happy birthday. You mean more to me than you know. Nothing but the best for you. Okay. Yeah. Ooh, got emotion again. Of course, when I've read it, I got tears, honey. Ugh. Whew. Yeah. Um. Ooh, she's gonna need a minute. Yeah. That's why I wanted to do this. Whether it's reaching 5 people or 50, 500, or 5 million, I don't care. That's not the point. The point is not to be famous. The point is not to, you know, to have the most views. It's legit this shit. It's this shit, the message. That it's the fact that somebody's life is now better, happier. And believe you me, I keep up with this person on social media, and from time to time, and they are a very happy, productive, human being compared to what they were at the time. Oh, yes. And their words, not mine. So, yeah, that's why I find there is such legit, amazing value in going to therapy. It's not just, oh, I need to bitch about my problems. Mary. It is way more than that. I've been doing it for 12 years now. So it's 12 years? Yeah, about 12 years. So I forget just how much I've been through, just how much I've overcome, just how much I've uh, grown, how much I've calmed down since. I don't drink nowhere near as much. Honey, drugs. Mm-mm. I do my edibles, and that's it, baby. That's all the drugs I need. My edibles and my beer and my vodka, in moderation, in balance. Now vacation, mama, let's loose. But still, like I find value in not being hungover and annoying and a keg powder. There's a lot of value in that. Oh yeah, I've even had one of my coworkers start therapy because of me because she pointed out to me like I am so proud of you. I see literally for years she's been telling me this, and then she finally got comfortable with this. Her and I talked about it in private all the time. Oh, and this actually leads me to a very good point, which is something that she went through. She had a really hard time finding the right therapist. I won't tell you for the reasons. Well, what she's looking for, that's none of my business to share. But I can tell you this: if you don't find the right one right away, bitch, keep trying. Okay, and I mean try. There's Google is a wonderful search tool. It's a wonderful tool in general, but to search for things, yes, ChatGPT, anything. Like to say that you don't have options is bullshit because now there's even telehealth therapy. You can do it online, virtually, anywhere. Most, from what I've researched and looked at, take um, insurance. So if you have a job that's giving you insurance, most insurances will pay for I think like 60 whatever therapy sessions a year, whatever it is. Like take advantage of it. Most of my friends, I know y'all got insurance, so you got zero excuse, baby. You got a computer, you got a phone. You got time to go on Grinder. You got time to be on TikTok, Fortnite, doom scrolling. You got time to do all that, but you ain't got time to find a therapist. That's not. I personally will not will no longer accept those kinds of bullshit excuses from my friends. I'm like, don't ever say you don't got an option. Ask for help then. That's another option. Ask for help. If you don't know, ask. And that's the thing. A lot of us are so proud in doing, and so fucking stern and so hard headed into doing things for ourselves. And independence, by the way, hyper independency is an effect of something that happened to you growing up, by the by. Again, hyper independency. Me, baby. Mm. Girl, I feel like I could just keep talking, talking, talking about this. I actually thought about doing a two-part episode for this, but I may. I have a feeling I'll revisit this topic again. But for now, I just want to leave y'all with the basics: the what, the how, the who, the why, when, all that. Oh, and to also touch up on this last little thing that I mentioned about my coworker not finding the right therapist. That happened to me as well here in Milwaukee. I did not like the first therapist that I found here. I gave it a few tries, but this person did some things that didn't make me feel fully comfortable divulging things to them. So I respectfully said, you know what? I think I'm good. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the sessions. Move on. Thank you. Next. Found me another one and move on, honey. Again, sitting idly waiting for the world to help you is not an excuse. Oh, I can't find one. Baby. We're going to get that out of our heads this year. If that's what's something that you're struggling with, baby, guess what? We're going to get it out of our heads. But you got to take the first step. Just like I did, crying buckets in that kitchen, what, 13 years ago? saying enough is enough is enough. When are you going to say enough is enough? Especially when you're tired of being the way you are or feeling the way you are. hmm I'm telling you, baby, every aspect of my life, friendships, relationships, work, every kind of relationship I had in my life has grown tremendously and in a more positive trajectory because of all the things that I cultivated through therapy. I've also, conversely, have removed, deleted, kept distance away from many people in my life because they're not serving me the things that I need to be happy and at peace and not agitated. Because guess what? You can walk away from people, literally, or roll away, run away, get a ride shared away. Like, unless somebody's forcing you, like gun to head forcing you, you can always walk away. You don't have to react. Really. You don't have to be around people you don't want to be. Like, you don't. You don't have to go back home for Christmas if you don't want to, or for a holiday if it don't serve you right. But it's my family, honey. No, sitting in uncomfortableness is not family. That's not love. If you want to go and talk about issues with your family, just like I've had to do, have many uncomfortable conversations. Yeah, yeah, and not just blame, honey, and point out things. Know how you contributed to the mess as well. Okay, it takes two to tango. Trust. A lot of the times, it takes two to tango. Therapy, wonderful, honey. Let them, honey. That's right. I'll leave you with this. Let them. Let them. If people are doing things that you don't like, let them. You can't control people, but you know what you can control? Yes. The sooner you have a full grasp on your emotions and why you feel the way they do, honey, the happier you will be, baby. All right. So for this episode's unpack recap, all right. Well, that was it. She did the recap. You know, the what, the who, the when, the where, the why. hmm But just to sprinkle it here again, honey. Okay. The main things that I picked up on therapy that I every day, that I use every day, are self-awareness. Lovely to know yourself from the outside in, from somebody's perspective, how you act, how you say things, the way you say things, very important. What was the second thing? Oh, grace, compassion for not just other people, for yourself as well. You're human. You fuck up. It's okay. Learn how to properly apologize. There's a time to do it. There's a place to do it. You can't force people to want your apology. Mm-mm. If they ain't ready for it at the time, bitch, back the fuck back. Okay. Again, there's a time and a place and a way to do it. And not just saying I'm sorry about baby. Depending on the gravity of the situation, you gonna have to do some work, action, not just words, to rectify and make sure things are good. Okay. And believe you me, honey, I'm a sassy, witty, sharp tongued bitch. And I won't hold back on anybody. But nowadays, more than ever, I've learned to listen a lot more and just go, okay, and just let them accept people for, okay, can't change them, but okay, you ain't taking my energy, baby. Mm, mm, mm. So I hope all those things are helpful. I hope you take, if you take one of those things away, honey, and implement it in your life, I promise you, promise you, you're gonna feel happier, lighter. Right, mama? Therapy, because you're worth it. Is that it? Can we end it that way? Because you are worth it. That's right, bitch. You're gonna spend every day with yourself until you die. So might as well make it the best time. Well, baby, that was the episode. I've talked a lot. I rambled on. But like I said, I may revisit this topic again because there's a lot more to unpack about things I went through, but not the time or place for that right now. I gave you enough. Okay. And as always, thank you for watching, for listening. And please, please, please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, comment. Yes, girl, share this with your friends. You got somebody that's going through some shit? You think one of your friends needs to go to therapy because they're a mess, because they're crying buckets and throwing beers by people, not at people. Violence is never the answer. But emotional regulation, wonderful. Oh yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Emotional regulation. Put that in your sticky note, bullet points of things you learned. All right. Thank you. I hope you have a fabulous time, and I will see you next time, honey. Because now, oh yeah, this is, by the way, the mid-season finale. That's right. When you see me again, it'll be at a different studio, a different place. We're moving up in the world, honey. All right. Thank you, baby. And remember, if you don't feel, you don't heal. Oh, disclaimer time. While I'm here to share personal stories, real feelings, and maybe make you laugh, cry in the process, I am not a licensed therapist, a doctor, or mental health professional. This show is meant for entertainment and storytelling. Think of it like an emotional support friend that you bring to brunch. If you're struggling, please reach out to a qualified professional. Take care of your mind, protect your peace, and remember, healing is personal, and you can't heal if you don't feel.